The Wyatt Sicks were successful in the street fight on Monday Night Raw, and while we think that sparks the end of the feud with American Made, we're not 100% on that yet, a lot of people are banking on the fact that the Wyatt Sicks are being advertised for WWE live events at the end of September, that means they've got to move straight into another feud ready for matches on that live event circle. However, WWE live event matches typically don't mean a lot storyline-wise. Bray Wyatt would famously continue having matches with LA Knight in February, even though their feud ended at the Royal Rumble. So it's more than possible at these WWE live events you see the Wyatt Sicks versus American Made or whoever else, and it really doesn't mean that's going to be a thing on TV yet. Maybe. Personally, what I want to see next from the Wyatt Sicks is an exploration into the characters and the people with Uncle Howdy. Why is Dexter Lumis wearing a mask? Why is Eric Rowan wearing a mask? Why is Nikki Cross in this group? What is actually going on in the mind of Bo Dallas that's making him do the Wyatt Sicks faction? What was behind the door in the funhouse? These things have been alluded to. Even recently we was talking about what's coming through the door. So we kind of need to explore that a little bit. And I feel like that's the right next step before we jump into another feud. Which, for those asking, yes, I do actually hope it is the Judgment Day. The numbers work perfectly. And I'd love to see Nikki versus Liv. However, when the Wyatt Sicks were introduced on Raw this week, they were introduced as the Wyatt Sicks. Now, this is something that's obviously floated around since they returned to WWE. Wyatt 66, it's written on their logo, etc. Yet their Twitter is Wyatt 6 with an S. That side of it has always been something that confuses me and a lot of other people too. A lot of people assume Bray is the sixth member. The only reason I don't think that's right is because they're paying a lot of tribute to Luke Harper, Brody Lee as well, and therefore he'd be the seventh member, right? So if we do get vignettes or whatever teasing who's coming through the door, surely that's got to be Alexa. With the teasers that she's put out recently, the idea that it's getting closer and closer to her return, being rumoured and rumoured more, you've got to believe it's Alexa Bliss potentially returning. And I think doing a few weeks build for that potentially could be a very smart, very cool thing to actually see unfold. Until we get like past Bad Blood and stuff like that, let other feuds end for the Wyatt Sicks to do something more. And maybe that also explains why Eric Rowan is posting out pictures of what look like puppets on his Instagram posts. Because if you are going to do this door is in the Firefly Funhouse, maybe you do need a whole new set of puppets to go alongside it. So from an idea for Alexa Bliss's return to some rumours regarding the Queen, Charlotte Flair, returning to WWE. Now, these may be spoilers. Obviously, nothing's ever certain, so we don't know for sure. But there are some rumours out there that Charlotte Flair will be returning to WWE soon. And I don't think it will surprise many people to hear that Charlotte Flair is looking to come back and enter a feud with Nia Jax. With Nia Jax calling herself the Queen after winning Queen of the Ring, it kind of does make sense for the Queen Charlotte Flair to go head-to-head with Nia. Nia is, though, the WWE Women's Champion, so maybe Charlotte's looking for the next world title. The other side of it that could make a lot of sense is that Charlotte Flair could be an ally to Bayley. Obviously, Bayley and Charlotte have a lot of history. Two members of the WWE Four Horsewomen may be reuniting in a feud with Nia and Tiffany. And if we get Charlotte versus Tiffany out of this, we win, don't we? Because I think that's a match a lot of people have always said they want to see. This October, the Chambers of Horrors returns as WWE superstars Shotzi and Scarlett Bordeaux take over WWE's YouTube channel. They did this last year for Halloween. It was pretty cool, so I'm pleased to see it make a comeback. Do you know what, though? Genuinely, I wish these two had like a horror podcast. I think that would be fun all year round. Why not? WWE Survivor Series is coming to Vancouver on Saturday, November 30th. And if you're planning on going, the pre-sale is literally tomorrow. The password is on screen for you there. Make sure you go quick because you know these big premium live events, especially with War Games, sell out quickly. CM Punk is expected to be live next week on NXT. Now, we don't know if he's advertised for Raw next week. If he's not, though, I'm going to predict maybe Drew McIntyre shows up here. But that's not the only CM Punk bit of news we've got. Obviously, this week on the left was the original bracelet released on WWE Shop. Obviously, Larry AJ wrote on it. It was removed and it has been replaced by one that now reads CM Punk. Obviously, the creator of the original bracelet not getting any royalties for that. That's become a big conversation on social media. I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with that, but I do wonder if they change this, one, to get around it being the same as her creation, or two, if it's because CM Punk doesn't like the idea of the bracelet being AJ and Larry and people wearing his wife's name and his dog's name. Maybe that's a bit weird, you know? Absolutely no news for this. I just had to post this photo of Jordynne Grace with Shawn Michaels posted on social media following NXT last night. For no context, no reason whatsoever. Just enjoy it. Shawn Michaels seems to be, doesn't he? So news emerged following Smackdown last week that some people in creative were not happy at the idea of Giovanni Vinci returning, being completely squashed in 3 seconds by Apollo Crews. Now, I completely understand why some might be hesitant about it. Personally, I think it's a damn genius move, especially if there is follow-up. Now, the follow-up is crucial to me liking this, okay? Because one of the things that happened during the promo segments for Giovanni Vinci was people were saying, oh, he's just Gunther's lackey, why should we be hyped? People aren't saying that anymore. People are talking about the fact he's squashed. So next time he's on screen, maybe there's a new interest in Giovanni Vinci that you didn't have prior to this squash. So hopefully what they've done is they reset Giovanni Vinci, and now there's a reason to care about him. One of the big news stories this week, obviously, was Kiana James being moved to the miscellaneous section of the WWE internal roster. Now, people get moved there typically when they are unable to compete. It's not the same as being actively removed from the active roster. And in an update to this, PW Insider claims that Kiana James was removed simply because she suffered a leg injury and as a result is expected to be out for upwards of 6 months. So hopefully Kiana James, speedy recovery to her. Hopefully she's back ASAP. And don't forget, this Friday, Smackdown will not be on Fox. It is officially the first show on USA Network. Smackdown on USA this Friday night with a huge main event of Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Will Roman Reigns make his return? Time will tell, and we'll know on Friday. And if in case you do miss Smackdown, I don't know why you would, but in case you do, we will have a video up Friday night. Things you might have missed from Smackdown, so make sure you check that out. That is your wrestling news. Obviously, we're back doing this on Saturday. Obviously, we'll be back Friday with things you might have missed from Smackdown. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Turn those notifications on. You'll never miss another upload. Like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you as always next time. Peace!